Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the International Brotherhood of Magicians official podcast. My name is Jason Michaels. I am joined by my two co-hosts, Scott Cantrell. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Jason, good to see you.
It's good to see you. And Ben Young. Hey, Ben.
Hello. I like what you did this time. You said hi to us individually so that we
I've
didn't have the awkward.
I have learned my lesson, and today we have a special guest. We have the president. Is it official? It's called the president, right? Did I
Yeah.
get it correct? Okay.
Yep.
You are We have the president of the British Ring, the International Brotherhood of Magicians British Ring, Moira Fletcher. Good morning, afternoon, evening, Moira.
Evening.
Evening for you.
Evening here, but afternoon
Evening
for you.
Yeah. We're so excited to have this conversation with you. We the three of us at different times have served as part of the executive committee and some of the decision-making roles of the I.B.M. And I remember a couple of years ago we were talking about different rings, and somebody was talking about the British ring, and they said, "Oh, that's the largest ring that we have." And I was like, "Oh, wait, really?" And they're like, "Yeah, they have like some insane number of members." And I was like, "Really?" I was shocked. I was just blown away. So we're really excited that you're here. Thanks for joining us.
Well, I'm excited to be here too. It's really lovely to get this opportunity to meet you, because obviously I hear these names, I see these names written down in the linking ring, I hear comments, and so it's lovely to actually meet all three of you in one go. This is great.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get to know each other. We'll be old friends in an hour
Absolutely.
or less. Okay, so before we dive into all about the British ring and everything like that, let's get to know you a little bit. Let's just I would love to know a little bit about your journey into magic. You can go back as far as you like, but just kind of share with us a little bit about how you got into this world.
Okay, well, I suppose saying into this world is probably a really good start, Jason, because
Mm-hmm.
I came into this world into magic, literally. I was born into magic. My dad was very high up within magic, certainly within Scotland and within the UK, and he's also a past president of the British Ring back in 1976. So on the front of the January linking ring, 76, you'll see a lovely picture of him. So there you go.
That's
So
cool.
I was born into magic, quite literally. Went to my first magic convention when I was 6 weeks old, but I don't remember it. For many, many years, everybody, as I was growing up and getting older and into my teens and early 20s, oh, I remember when I used to push you in your pram. But as I was getting older, I was reminding them that they were getting a lot older. But that was that was okay. It was all part of the fun. So yes, I literally was born into it. I think probably my very privileged start to magic is that my dad and our mum, Duncan and Olive Fletcher, were incredible hosts and hostess. And they opened their house as hospitality to all visiting magicians to Glasgow. And I've actually, just before I came on here, I hope you don't mind, we've got visitors books of the people who used to stay with us, and I used to be able to sit as long as I was quiet. That was always the challenge. But I could sit and listen to all these stories and watch them perform in our sitting room. It was amazing. So somebody I'm going to mention right now who stayed with us many years ago was Len Vintus.
Oh, Lynn Ventus? Are you
Correct.
serious?
Yeah, I'm deadly serious.
Wow.
He stayed with us twice.
No way.
And I do remember that. We also had, and these are just some of the names, it's not everybody. We also had Ray Mangle and June Horowitz came to stay with us as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So I was literally born into all of this, but we have had so many people who would come and stay with us. So people like Jay Marshall and Francis Ireland, George Johnston, Michael Amar, Paul and Andy Diamond, Dan Garrett, Randy Wakeman, David Roth, Jay Sankey, Steve Beam, Hank and Jackie Moorhouse, Billy McComb, Terry Seabrook, Al Goshman. David Nixon, James Finlay, Al Karan. I'm looking around here, Daryl, Ali Bongo. So loads of people came and stayed with us. And I
And
grew up with that.
some of the bigger names too, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about I mean, you're
Amazing.
literally laying, I mean, you're talking about the biggest names of our industry over, the different years. I mean, that's really incredible.
It is. Oh, it is. I mean, it was what a way to go into magic. And in a way, I've been a full-time professional for 18 years. I'm not now, but I mean I still do magic, I still perform magic, but not as a full-time professional. But I was for 18 years. I did it sort of in a amateur, semi-professional way for many years before I went full-time, but also and though I love performing, I have to say, I think the best thing about this magical world is the people in it
hmm
and the
Yeah.
friendships that you can make. All of these people, you know, they were our friends, and it was incredible to be able to sit and listen to all of their stories. I wish I had recorded things because I can't, I'm not good I just take it in the moment and
Yeah.
just and soaked it up. And then afterwards I thought, oh, that was amazing. What was it they said? Oh, I can't remember now. So unfortunately, I can't really an awful lot of stories about what they did, but I can tell you about one or two of my experiences with some of them. But that's my memories of them. So as I say, I grew up into magic, but the first actual magic I ever did was, well, actual first magic I did. I don't know if you remember the name Ed and Nancy Keener, the Keeners.
I've
They
I've
might
heard the name.
You might have
Okay.
heard the name. They were American, and they were over visiting us. And I was about 4.5, and I performed a trick. And apparently, according to my dad, it was the worst performance I could have done. But apparently, Ed said I was marvelous.
It's
So, you know,
There you go.
That's awesome. That's awesome. You know,
so
to your point, um, the three of us were just at the just about a month and a little over a month ago, we were at the I.B.M. convention that was in
mhm.
St. Louis. And um, one of the things that I'm consistently reminded is that when you get together with magicians is, I mean, if you're a new magician, this is something that you learn over time. But the thing that I am constantly reminded is that it really is about the people and the relationships that you have with the people, and like you're able to. And this is one of the things that I've marveled at over the years. You can have two people that have nothing in common, nothing, not even like they literally would, their worlds would never meet.
Yep.
But because of magic, they can sit there and they can talk and get to know each other for hours. And it's a wonderful friend. I think the world of magic is an incredibly friendly and supportive group of people.
I would completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Completely. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, when we had these people visiting, it wasn't just our family. So there was my mum and dad, and there was also my brother and my sister and myself. And it wasn't just us that were there with these magicians, that very often all the local magicians would be invited to our house as well. So it
Oh,
was a
wow.
real get together. And there are magicians who still talk about the memories. I was actually visiting as president of the British Ring. I've been going around visiting some of the clubs in the UK, and I went to one in Scotland, up in Perth, and I met up with some people I hadn't seen for a number of years, and we were talking about some of these memories, and they were remembering that they had come to the house and had met some of these people, and the fact that we then were able to talk about it and remember it together was again just a special time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I do want to ask this question, and again, I want the others to jump in here and ask their questions as well. One of the things I was wondering about, and this might be a little bit hard to describe, but I think about it from the point of views as an American and someone who has gone to rings in America, I know what a magic meeting is like, but I don't know what a magic meeting is like. Although it may be exactly the same thing, but I don't really know what a magic meeting is like in the United Kingdom. I have no idea. What is it like? What do you do? Are there any customs or any things that maybe are different? Have you now you may not have no point of reference. Have you been to any ring meetings in
No,
America? Okay.
I'm
So
afraid
let
I
me just
haven't. No.
so in most meetings what you have is you have, at least what I've seen, you have an open time where anybody who wants to perform gets to perform. At a lot of meetings, there will be somebody who gets up and does a short, like teach a trick type of thing where they'll spend 5 or 10 minutes maybe teaching a little thing. You might have a featured performer who gets up and does like a short 10 or 15-minute long set. And usually that's about it. And then there's time for people to just kind of hang out and session with each other and chat and whatnot. Um, does that sound similar to what you do, or do you have different things?
I think a lot of the magic clubs within the UK have similar but different formats.
Okay.
I don't think there's any hard or fast rules. So
Hmm.
for instance, the one that I'm in, which is the Scottish Conjurers Association here in Glasgow, um, there are two or three different ways we can do it. We could have a visiting lecturer. Who could come along and they would just lecture for the evening. We might have a themed night so that we try and encourage as many of our members as possible to take part with a theme. And it might be as simple as ropes and rings, or it might be something a bit more subtle, and just be a title of something, or I read it in a book, or
Hmm. Hmm.
something like that. But one of the things that we try to do is it's not just about you doing something that you normally do. Think outside the box slightly, come up with something, try and devise something or create something that you can just perform amongst your magic friends. So it doesn't matter
Hmm.
if it goes wrong, or if it's one of the best effects you've ever performed and nobody's ever going to see it again.
Right.
But you just think outside that box, be creative and try something new. So we try and encourage folk rather than just doing their sort of bog standard stuff. Try something new. So we do that. And then we do also have time. So it's like a bit of downtime where we just have a bit of jam sessions, or somebody might just say, well, look, I've actually got a few ideas. Can I share them with you? We can maybe
Mm.
chat about it. What do you think? Do you want to try this? So it really just depends. There's no hard and fast rules. And I think most of the clubs probably are similar.
Okay. 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 Scott?
Well, yes. First of all, it's a delight to be able to have the conversation. So thank you so much for joining us. Um, Being president of the largest ring of the IBM is got to be probably an honor, but also a heavy lift from time to time. What are you most excited about in terms of where the British ring is, and maybe some of the initiatives or opportunities you guys have for growth and to share magic? What excites you most about the British ring?
I think sort of coming back to where we started, the biggest thing that I find is the friendship that we've got within the British Ring. We're a very engaging ring. We find it really important that we engage with our members because we are not a local club. We are
Right.
UK wide. So
Yeah.
we cover the whole of Britain, and we have to constantly think about that. Just going back with you saying, Jason, about the fact that you were the largest ring, if I can impart a slightly funny story, when my
Yeah.
dad was president in 1976, he was over in the States at the convention there, and there he was chatting with some of the other magicians. And please, excuse my awful American accent that I'm about to do.
No, you
Okay,
don't
I
want to
love
hear
it.
our Scottish or English
Oh,
accent,
that's
so
fair enough.
it's all good.
But there was some of the magicians were chatting to Dad and saying, and which ring are you in? Oh, British ring. Oh, right. Oh, we don't really know that one. They said, well, it's quite a big ring. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And it was one of the other local rings said, well, we've got 50 members. And Dad said, well, that's quite a big ring. And the guy said, how many have you got? And Dad said, we've got 1,500. And the guy just said, gee, that's a big ring. Now, sadly, our numbers are nowhere near 1,500 because, as you know, the
Mhm.
same with the IBM itself is
Yeah.
obviously, sadly, numbers are dropping, dynamics are changing. That is the way that things go now. But we
Mhm.
are just under 500. There's around the 450 mark, 460 mark at the moment. And we're obviously really pleased with that. The challenge we do have is the fact that we are UK wide.
Yeah.
And It does give us opportunities as well because what do you as a member want is what we try to put out to all our members. We want to engage with them, and we feel that that's really important. Um, we do know that there are other people that say that sometimes even their local club don't listen to their members, but that's one of the things that we really, really pride ourselves in, is that we listen to our members. We can't always do what they all want, but we will always give them the reason if we can't actually go with exactly what they're asking or suggesting. But that's really good. And because of the size of us and because of the scale of the area that we have to cover, it does give us opportunities because we do move around the country. It has its own challenges with us doing that, which is similar to you with your conventions because you are moving around the States. So all our events are constantly in different places. So it's really good because we can get around and try and cover areas with our members and try and bring them on and get them involved when we're in their more local area. So we're not static. We can almost go to them rather than them having to come to us. But there's a bit of give and take. So it's all quite challenging in a way, but at the same time, um, it's exciting because we never quite know what's round the corner or quite how things are going to go. It'll be exactly the same as all of the things that you're trying to do as well, no doubt.
Sure.
And we might as well not beat about the bush for that, but it is one of those things that we can be challenged, but that in itself is what's exciting because we've got to meet that challenge. We have a lot of our we do have quite a lot of more mature members in the ring, in the British ring. And that in itself is also a challenge, but it's also, again, it's an opportunity because they have all seen so much magic. They've met so many magicians as well, and they can impart a lot of things. We always, at all of our British ring events, we try to have something which is not necessarily about performing magic, but it's more about the history of magic or to do with other aspects or allied arts so that it encompasses a little bit more than just magic because we feel that that's important as well. It is another avenue that we have to think about. So there are opportunities there, there are challenges there, but there's also a lot of enthusiasm. I've got an incredible team behind me. I do not do any of this on my own. As president, I've got the opportunity of going around I've been to a number of dinners and clubs and other events as well as our own events. And it's been great to get out there and meet all of the other magicians and to tell people about the British Ring, about the I.B.M, and about how we are all there for our members, and that we want to take on board what is it that you want us to provide to make your magic better. We can't always promise things, but we will always try. And as long as we show that effort, like you do as well, I mean, all the stuff that the I.B.M are doing as well is incredible now. That even doing things like this with the podcast, etc., is super. It's fabulous. That is really engaging with the members, and that is so important nowadays. So that I think is where it's exciting. There's different avenues and different approaches that we can now do, and it's great to see that so many magic clubs like the I.B.M, the British Ring, are starting to take hold of those and take them forward.
Yeah, I agree. I think
Well
that
said.
I think that it's an exciting time in the IBM history. I think that there's a momentum building and there's excitement and people are realizing. I even think that what I think I'm seeing is that some of the younger people who maybe in the past haven't always seen the value in meeting in person. I think that they're starting to see that. I think they're starting to experience this like, wow, there's really something wonderful about getting together in a room with people who have the same interests that I do. So, yeah. Ben, what do you got, buddy? Hey, good to
This
see
is
you, Ben. Glad you could
yeah,
be
this
here.
is one of those things that happens. Jason forgets I exist for about half the podcast, and then
You're
so
literally on my screen right now. I can see
and
you.
so
We don't know who you are, but we hear this voice. And
I end up with like a bullet list of things that I want to talk about. And so we'll just go through them quickly. Love that you called it dynamic. I do think that that's so. I know it comes with its challenges, but it is so cool that it kind of moves around. The ring moves around, the meetings like move around because it just keeps things like so fresh. And I think that that's wonderful. I don't have a question about that, but I think that's wonderful. I love that you talked about using the meetings as an opportunity to try something new and that it's like a safe
Hmm.
space with just your magician friends. I remember growing up going to the ring, some of the outlandish themes that were so broad, like you said, and you had to come up with something. I remember one, it was like farm magic. And so it was like, I'm pretty sure that, and I was living in Tennessee at the time. So like I put on my like Southern accent, like real thick. And I don't remember what I did, but people were doing stuff with ropes and eggs and, chickens and whatever like that. And so it's a fun
Chickens.
opportunity to just kind of go, well, I don't really have something to do for this, but it's not really an excuse to sit out. It's an opportunity to come up with something that loosely fits,
Yeah.
and do that.
Yeah.
And then my my other bullet points are all from the beginning of the conversation. Um, what Jason's a really great interviewer.
Sorry.
Um, so what kind of magic? You said that you were, full-time professional for a number of years. What kind of magic is your flavor? And because you're in the UK, that is flavor with an O-U-R.
Oh,
Yeah,
well done.
yeah.
I've been sitting on that for 20 minutes.
Yeah, he's been waiting to get
Love
points
it.
for that one.
My specialty within magic was children's magic. I was mostly a children's entertainer, bit of family entertainment, but I had a couple of restaurant residencies that I did a bit of stuff around the tables, etc. I would do some walkabout stuff, few corporate events. I also had an illusion act with two other females. There was three of us,
Oh wow.
and we went around the whole of
Cool.
the UK performing, which was great. Not for a long time, but it was so much fun when we were doing it. It was great fun, and an interesting because I will mention something about it later. But my daughter, who is also a magician, is. She actually decided that was a great idea, and she took over the three girl illusion act for a while as well, which was and travelled around with it. So that was
Oh,
good. It was good.
great. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so I've done quite a lot within the different spheres of magic, but I definitely specialised in children's. That was my passion, if you
It's
like. I've enjoyed
That's
all types of magic.
that's awesome.
amazing.
You know, so you were born into magic, and then your daughter was born into magic as well. This is highly unusual to have three generations of magicians. Do you have anything to say about I don't know how to word this, about how that happens? Because a lot of times, like myself, kids go the complete opposite of what their parents are interested in. My
Good.
parents grew up on a farm with horses. I know I did brought up farms twice in this
It's
conversation,
within
but
five
uh,
minutes.
Is there a
and
theme coming
but
now?
but horses are not my thing. I don't ride. I never liked them. I stayed inside and learned card tricks instead. So do you have any insight to maybe how this sort of happened over three generations where people stayed in the family business, so to speak?
Well, okay, so let's take it from my generation first because obviously I mentioned about my brother and sister. My sister did a bit of performing. She performed quite a little bit. She actually lived over in Canada for a while and she performed over in Canada as well. And she actually went down and did some stuff with Mickey Hades at one point as well, which was fun for her. And so she's done that, but she didn't do a lot. But she has always loved magic, and she is part of our convention team in the British Ring. So she's still a part of magic. My brother, not so much, but he was always very interested. Both of my children are involved in magic. Graham, my son, is the stage manager for us, and he also, for a long time, was the stage manager for the Blackpool Magicians Club convention as well. Uh, so he's got again. He did a bit of performing when he was younger as well. More as a bit of fun, talent show at the school and things like that. Sawing the head teacher in half. That sort of stuff. Which was great fun.
It's because it's what
Um,
we all do.
well,
Hey,
it's what we
hey.
all do. It's what we all do. And so he had fun with that. And he's still very involved because he is part of the team as well for our convention. You're going to meet all these people, Jason, in September.
I'm excited. I can't wait.
Um, but I think what has been key both from myself and my sister from sort of second generation, and now my two for third generation, it's going to come back to where we started. It's the people in magic,
Mm.
because they grew up coming, getting trailed with me, going to magic shows, me performing a lot of the time. I would just drag them around, and they saw what happened when I was out doing shows and things like that. But also, I would take them to all the conventions, and they met all these amazing magicians, and they loved it. So that they've grown up in it, and that, I think, from a generation point of view, is that's probably, if somebody's born into magic and it's a passion, and they grow up in it, if they get, it's not about the magic per se, it's the people. And that again is the key. And I think because a lot of their friends now within their general lives are magicians.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's not just because they do magic, or have done magic. I think it's because they met some of these people when they were younger. I mean, somebody that my children grew up with from when they were very young, who caused havoc with them as they were growing up. I dare I mention this name, is the one and only, your very own Keith Fields.
Oh,
Well,
Lord.
I'm so excited you got here. One of my questions was, do you have any embarrassing stories about Keith Fields or Lady Sarah?
I
So
love this. I'm so glad that's the direction that we've taken this. Let's throw Keith under the bus.
no, he's more than accomplished. His
Oh,
reputation
yes.
precedes him. He
Of
can
course.
he can handle it.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Oh, yes. Probably the one thing my daughter, who she has such a fond memory of Keith, is very simply that when they were young, we went. He was. It was before he moved over to America, and he was living in this country, and he was up in Glasgow doing stuff at a venue for the week. So during the day, he would be around. We would go and hang out. We'd go and pick up the kids from my kids from school, etc. All that sort of stuff. We'd go out for something to eat, and because my kids were quite young at the time, we took them to a place where they would bring out sort of kids' activities so that they would keep them occupied while they were having something to eat. But they also brought out a little game thing where it had little tiny dice. And they're like two dice or whatever. So Keith decided that he was sort of going to make up a little sort of catapult so that he could fire these dice at the waitresses as they were walking past. And then he would send Mandy to go and pick the dice up. It was just nothing to do with magic, but just the silly stuff. So yeah, so he made a right reputation for himself firing all these dice. But yeah, he's probably stories. What stories are my other half is sitting here? I'm just going to. What stories have we got that Keith that we could tell?
This is
I
great. Like,
love Keith to bits. I've known Keith since 1982, 81,
oh, that's
something like
awesome.
that. I mean, we've literally grew up together.
That goes to say what you were talking about, community and friendships. It's lovely.
Yeah. So
That's great.
yeah.
Well,
Uh,
okay, since we're dropping names, I'm going to tell you, I've had several people. So
oh, I know who you're about to say. You mentioned
reputation,
it.
Moira, everybody loves you. Everybody I've talked to loves you. So I had a conversation with R. Paul Wilson about you.
Well, yeah, he sent that picture of you too. Oh God.
I had a conversation with Mark James about you, and every single time I talk to somebody and they find out that I'm coming to visit the British Ring Convention, we'll talk about it in a few minutes. They say, oh, I've known Moira for years. I love Moira. They like. I think your reputation is such that I think that there's a reason why you were the president of the British Ring, because obviously you've had these great relationships with people. It sounds to me like you come from a place of service. How can we really help you? And I think that speaks to like why you are where you are, today. I really appreciate that. I think that's amazing.
Thank you. These are special people. Paul Wilson, we've got a very special friendship. I don't know how much he told you, but of course we had a very special bond over a film that he made.
Oh, nice.
I don't know whether he told. I'll tell you about that one, Jason, when you're over here. It's a long
Okay.
story.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
We won't have time tonight. But yeah, so that was. But again, I'd known Paul for well forever. I don't really remember a time when I don't think I did know Paul. And then and Mark, bless him, is just yeah, he's a star. He's super. And I'm very fond of Mark, and he's done various things for the British Rainforest over the years, and he's jumped in and helped out, and just he's always my go-to. If I'm stuck, he knows that I can ask him, or I know that I can ask him, and if he's available, he will be with us in a heartbeat, and
That's
he's just
awesome.
wonderful that way. So yeah, I'm very fond of Mark.
That's fantastic.
Right.
So, what is your membership like? Do you? I mean, from what I understand, you have professionals, you have amateurs, you have people who probably couldn't do a magic trick, but they love magic. Tell us a little bit about who the folks are that you're, who are you serving? Who are the folks that are,
Sure.
gathering with you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our members have been with us a long time. So we've got people who are retired, some of them who I would say the majority of our members are more amateurs, potentially have been semi-pros, and have but still have the love of magic, and it's been a part of them for so long. They are very interested in the history of magic as well because they've been, they have been, oh, some of them are definitely elderly and they have been part of it all. So they like hearing about things that have gone before. So we do have quite a few who are actually interested of specifically about the history of magic and are real go-tos on information to do with the past. Sadly, obviously, we lost the best guru in the world when it came to magic was our own Eddie Dawes, who
Mm.
obviously sadly passed away over the last couple of years, and that was a huge loss to us. Again, he was a very close family friend, so I miss him greatly. But he was amazing with all the history side of things. But because of him directly, there are a number of our members who followed in his footsteps because the way he spoke about things of the past and the research that he did to create the articles that he had in things like both our magazine and the Magic Circular for the Magic Circle was incredible. Just incredible. I don't think there's another word really to describe it. It was monumentous what he did. And he has left a real legacy of the information that he has brought all together. And it was really quite remarkable. And
Hmm.
he has created people who have got a lot of interest in the history of magic, which is great because that's
Hmm.
important. Our
Hmm.
future is important, but our past is what has created us. So we need to remember that. Um, we have quite a good group of people just now who are professionals who are working all over the place. I mean, we've got a couple of folk who've actually got their own venues
Hmm.
that they perform. We've got one in Llandudno at the moment, a really good venue called Magic Bar Live, which is one run by a chap called Chris Williams and his family, and they're all very involved, and they're again part of the ring itself. They get very involved in bits and pieces. We've got members who are currently away on cruise ships working. We've got members who are doing a lot of corporate events. We have actually got a number of members who are currently getting everything prepped for going to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. Do you know about the
Mm.
Edinburgh Fringe?
Absolutely.
Yep,
Hmm.
yep.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Massive Fringe Festival. So we're getting very excited. It starts next week. Getting all
Oh,
geared up.
cool.
And so they're all getting prepped for that. So we've got quite a few of our members are involved in that, which is great. We have the people who just want the ring to keep going and to succeed, who are willing to do the work that needs to be done to put on any of our events. So we have the workers, if you like. we've got a little core of folk like that who don't necessarily perform, but although they might do bits and pieces, they just enjoy. We've got a few tech people who really enjoy the tech side of things. But again, they came into magic with a bit of interest in magic, but they've gone into a wee bit more of a tech. But that's great because we need a tech team as well. So there are a lot of different stages. We've got the people who just sit and watch.
Hmm.
That's what they like to do.
Yep.
There's a number of folk, well, I have never seen them perform. I've known them for years. Do they
Hmm.
perform? No idea. Uh, but they come along and they obviously love it. So
Yep.
that's fine. So we've really got a big mix, and it is, we've got illusionists, we've got close-up performers, we've got corporate workers, we've got your cabarets, we've got a real big mix of types of magic and levels of magic, which is great because it means we do have quite a pool of people that we can try and ask to help us facilitate at events, which is great.
Hmm. Hmm. Um,
I
I
wanted to,
want the other, yeah, Scott, you want to dive
well,
in
I
here?
just wanted to jump in because hearing about obviously what you're doing at the British Ring, but also what you were talking about in terms of your career, from being a little girl and doing that trick, 4.5, and getting that wonderful review. The review is what counts, Moira. And then growing up into magic and being a professional, and being a woman in magic. I mean, we need the art, fortunately, in the last few years, women in magic, we are getting more women in magic, and we
Absolutely.
could benefit tremendously from having even more women in magic.
Yes.
I got to interview and speak and create a friendship with Mandy Mooden at the
Oh, Mandy.
recent
Yep, yep, yep,
I.B.M
yep.
convention, and what a delight! Um, but you you were one of the early women in magic, and especially in a meaningful professional way, and being surrounded by all these other names. Obviously, we've made a lot of progress, and I'd love for you to speak
Sure.
to that, about bringing women into the art. But there's room to grow there too. What's your personal perspective on it, and how do we continue to engage and attract more women into the art?
How do we attract more women in? I'll be honest and say I don't know. As an honest answer. I think all we can do is if you find anybody who's got whether it's a younger person, an older person, or whatever, if you find that they have got some sort of an interest, then you've got to hone in on that and try and help them make that grow. And that is irrespective of whether it's male or female.
Right,
I've got, it's quite interesting as a female. And I don't know whether how these comments will go down. I honestly don't know. I love magic. It's not because I'm a female. It's
right,
because I love magic.
yeah,
Hmm.
Is
Hmm.
it because I'm a female is relevant? No.
correct,
And there's a little bit of me that, it's about the magicians. It's about the people. And to me, it doesn't matter whether it's male or female.
agree.
Um, it's about the individual. Yes, I would love to see more female magicians because I think there's a heck of a lot of females are missing out because this is a great life. Do you know? Come and join it. Um,
Yeah,
I don't necessarily know how we attract more in. I have had a few youngsters who are interested in magic, and that I've tried to help bring them in, and they've loved it, but they've just gone off and done other things. But I've
sure,
also done that with young lads as well that have
sure,
gone on, but they've gone on to other things. So
sure,
it's a really difficult one. I think in a way, potentially females in the main. I mean, I could be talking a load of rubbish here, but my view is that females sometimes can be quite outgoing and can go and do things. A lot of the guys, if they get this idea that they can do something with a pack of cards or a Rubik's Cube. I mean, I know that I don't know if you ever heard a chap called Tom Crosby who does stuff with Rubik's Cubes. He's got a lovely line, that no, I don't have a girlfriend. All I've done is played in my Rubik's Cube in my bedroom. That's why I don't have a girlfriend. And it's the same with the guys that are playing cards. It's that's their passion, and they forget that there's another life out there sometimes. I think females are a bit better at knowing that there's a bigger picture
Mhm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So therefore, if the guys who find their playing cards or their Rubik cubes or their illusions or whatever, they really hone in on that and think that this is something for me, which is great. But then they hone in so far that they forget the rest of it. Females, generally speaking, don't tend to do that so much.
Mm.
So that is possibly why they then say, well, okay, I love this, but I need to go and do that as well.
Mhm.
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm not sure. That's my thoughts on it. But I
Mhm.
also think there is no reason why there couldn't be more females. But I also think it's irrelevant what you are or who you
Great.
are, as long as you love magic and you perform to the best of your capability and just go out there and enjoy it.
I love it.
Mhm.
I love it.
Mhm.
I really um, honed in on what you said in terms of whether it's a young lady or a young man, if they have an interest in the art, our job as an ambassador of the art is to cultivate and encourage that, right?
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
to your point you've made several times, to help surround them with this wonderful community of people that we have. Because
Yes.
if they meet the people, then they don't have to come back for the
Yes.
cards or the Rubik's cubes. They'll come back for the laughs and the
Yes.
friendships and the community. Yeah,
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And the
Mhm.
love it.
magic then is your bonus.
Exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
Mhm.
love that
It's like
perspective.
it's about creating like an open place for anybody that's
Yes.
interested to be there. It's not about necessarily recruiting more women in magic. It's
Right.
just being open for everybody that's interested.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well said.
Yes.
I do think that having some examples that like a little girl could look up to, because little boys have had these examples for a long
Hmm.
time. And
Sure.
so
Hmm.
sometimes just seeing somebody
Like
that
you. Yeah.
looks like you go,
Yes.
oh, it just opens up this idea. Oh, maybe it's
Hmm.
maybe it's something you never even considered, but now all of a
Yes.
sudden you see somebody doing it and you're like, oh,
Yes.
I guess I could do that too. I've never
Yes.
even thought about it.
Yes. Yes. A quick example, my daughter Mandy worked over at the House of Illusion in Spain.
Mm.
And while she was there was a family and there was a little girl, and the dad came over to Mandy afterwards and said, my little girl is really excited because she always wanted to do magic, but she didn't think she could because she was a girl. But now she's
Wow.
seen you, she knows that she can.
I love that.
That's great.
I love
Yeah.
that.
And that, it would be good to have more females because then it does open it up that it is open to females as well. Absolutely. We don't want folk to think it's a closed shop in any way.
Hmm.
But there are more females coming to the fore, and that's
Yes.
brilliant.
Agreed.
And things like I'm not quite so sure, but the America's Got Talent. But there've been various ones on there, but and also in Britain's Got Talent, we've been getting
Right.
the females on there as well. So it's getting out and about now that there are female magicians. So I can only see it's going to grow. Might
Hmm.
not grow hugely, but it's going to grow.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, okay, I want to talk about the British Ring Convention. Ben, was there anything else you wanted to jump in on there, or were there
Nope. I was
okay,
I
you
was
good?
gonna suggest we get into the convention.
Oh, okay, Ben, what should we do next?
We should jump into the British Ring Convention,
Oh,
talking
that's a
about
good
that.
idea. I like that idea.
Hey,
Let's do
Jason.
that.
Jason,
Huh?
just real
What's that,
quick.
Scott?
Why don't we go ahead and talk about the British Ring Convention?
Sounds good to me,
Okay.
only if Moira wants to.
Okay then.
Okay, all right, let's do it. Tell us about the British Ring Convention. It's coming up in well, I guess this podcast will launch on September 1, so we're talking about later this month. Tell
Oh,
us about it.
Okay, it is on the 19th and 20th of September. It is being held in a beautiful town in Derbyshire, right in the middle of England, um, called Buxton. And it's a beautiful, we call spa town, and it's got the most amazing opera house, which is a very old style theatre, a very old traditional theatre, and it is absolutely glorious. Our performers that we have got covering the whole weekend, and I'll enhance it slightly. But we have got Matrix Illusions. We've got Michael Carr, James Ward, Fritz with a Z from Amsterdam, Andrew Van Buren from the Van Buren family, John Kimmins, Nikolai Strebele, Jeffrey Durham, that used to be the Great Soprendo, if that is a name that is known in America. We have also got Andrew O'Connor coming, who may be a name I would hope that is known in America,
Yes.
but certainly a name over here. He produces a lot of shows, etc. And we also have Richard Cadell and Sooty. Do you know about Sooty? Do you know
Tell
about
us about Suti.
Sooty? Oh my goodness, Sooty's a big thing over here. Sooty is a puppet. And Jason, when you get back to America, you'll be telling everybody about Sooty.
About Suti?
Sooty is a little bear puppet who's been going for 75 years. He's a big thing over here, and he's going to be on our show, which is amazing. Richard, who is literally the right hand of Sooty, is is a past president of the British Ring, and he is very passionate about the British Ring, so he's great to have on board. And of course, we've got the one, the only Jason Michaels will also be on our bill.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, it's gonna be work. I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a whole lot of fun. So
It is.
this is even an American, me, a dumb American. I was looking at some of these names and I was going, I've heard of these people. Like I was like, wow, this is quite the lineup you have. Of course, there will be some folks who will be new to me, and I'm looking forward to seeing them work and meeting them.
Of
But
course.
it's going to be great. So if somebody is listening to this podcast and they're like, well, I live whatever within a drive of
Yep.
Buxton, and but I don't even know what a magic convention is. I like magic. So if they're going to see these different acts, all this talent, what is, give us a rundown of what's going to happen. Like,
Okay.
is there going to be a teaching session? Tell us a little bit about what the
Sure.
convention looks like.
Okay. Well, we're actually going to be starting informally on the Friday evening. We're going to have an event, which is a fun competition, sort of a walkabout close-up competition around a local pub. And it
Oh,
is
that's
for,
perfect. I cannot wait to do. I want to be at the local pub. That's what I want to do.
and it's just along from your hotel, so it's an easy staggering distance. You're fine.
An easy staggering. I like how it's an easy staggering. Only the
Sorry.
Scottish would say it's an easy
Only the
staggering
Scottish, I know.
distance.
Of course, I'm setting my reputation already. And it is called the Ali Bongo Micro Marathon. So this was
Right.
something that Ali Bongo created for us. And it's a fun thing where we normally have about 8 or 9, sometimes 10 people who enter, and basically the bell rings and they start going around all the tables and they go and do a couple of tricks at each table, and it's for Joe public, the people that's just the regulars who are in the pub as well as the conventioneers.
That's
So
great.
you can go around and you're entertaining real people, and they go around and then they all judge who's going to win this fun competition. And there's a little award and things like that. So that's great. So that's a Friday night, very informal, just a really good get together to start with. On the Saturday, we are going to have a lecture. We're then going to have our stage competition, which is going to be held in this beautiful theatre that we've got for the day. We will have also that day, we're going to have this in conversation with Andrew O'Connor. I'm going to have the chance to sit down and have a chat with Andrew, which will be great because he used to come and stay with us all the time. He was second home, so it's going to be really nice getting a chance to catch up with him. So that's going to be fun. We've also got our another lecture on as well that day as well. So we've got another lecture. We've also got our big gala show in the evening in the Opera House, which is going to be it's going to be a real good magic variety show, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. And there's going to be some amazing magic. So that's going to be good. We've also got a late night event as well, which is again going to be over in the local pub. We're taking that over after the gala show. We're going to go over there and we are going to have one of the guys is arranging just a fun 45-minute show for us, which will just be for us in the pub. And that'll be good fun. And just so you know, Jason, there'll be some food laid on for the gala show acts afterwards as well, just so you make sure you're fed and things. All right, would you look after you?
Nice.
Just in case you don't get
I
time to
do
eat.
appreciate that.
On the Sunday, we're going to have a thing called the History of Mystery, which is an event where we'll talk a little bit about the history. And this particular one is going to be about the history of magic within Buxton, which is where our convention is. We are also going to have a youth show as well. We've got some youth coming. We don't have a big youth come to our events. But the ones that we do, we try and hone in very quickly. We've got to grab them when they're young, and we'd always give them the opportunity to perform. We've also got arranged a youth workshop. Challenges, I don't know if there's going to be an awful lot of them there right that early on. I think some of them are going to be arriving a little bit later for the show, but we'll just play that one as it comes, and we'll hopefully have something there. And then we'll also have another couple of lectures on. Nikolai is going to be doing a lecture. Alex Jessen from Matrix is going to be doing a lecture. Of course, Jason, your lecture is on. I can't remember when I've got you down for a lecture as well, of course.
Whatever you need.
And then we've got an evening show just for runs for an hour, which is Fritz with a Z from Amsterdam is going to do the closing show with his new one-man show that's come over from Amsterdam. But before we have that, we'll have the installation of the new president, and we'll also have a show which is going to be a very poignant show for all of us at the British Ring. It's a tribute show in memory of the most wonderful guy by the name of Chris Wardle. Now, I don't know if that is necessarily a big name that you do know. I would hope he would be a name that is known over there. He did write a number of books, and it's
I have some
worthwhile.
of them. Yep.
Great. I'm delighted to hear that, Scott. Chris was also a good friend of mine, but and a very especially a good friend of my partner Alan's. And they used to actually go out and do a joint lecture together. So it was a great loss when we did lose Chris. So we're going to be doing a tribute show to him, which is going to be hosted by Jeffrey Durham for us. And we're really privileged that we're able to do this in memory of him, and we're going to be making some comments about other things that we're going to do to have a legacy to Chris. Chris always said he was a member of a number of organisations, but he always said that the British Ring was his real magic family. So we are going to make sure that his legacy will live on, and we're going to make a quiet but special moment for him at our convention, because he was always at our conventions and supported us. So we'll be doing that. And it will be very poignant, but it'll be upbeat because that's what Chris would want. But we're going to be doing that as well. So it's pretty much a sort of a packed couple of days of magic and a lot of fun.
Oh, it sounds like I'm going to need to sleep. I'm going to need to come home and take a vacation from this.
Yeah.
This convention. Need a couple of days of sleep afterwards. It sounds like a blast. I'm looking forward to being there. I cannot wait to meet all of you and to in person, that is, and then of course to share magic with everybody. It's gonna be great. Okay, so here's what I need to know. I need to know two things. Number one, if somebody wants to attend the British Ring Convention, what is the best way to do that? And maybe you can also speak to if somebody wants to get involved with the British Ring, how do they do that as well?
Okay. Well, I can almost answer both of those with one way of doing it. If you want to go onto our website, which is www.britishring.org.uk, and on there you will find a join us, and you will also find a link to book tickets for our convention. Also on there, it does give in more information about the ring, about the I.B.M, about the convention, who's on, where it is, who we are, all of those things. And also there is a contact on there. And if anybody wants to ask a question, they can just type in a little message and that will be sent to whoever needs to deal with it, which will probably be me, but that's fine. And it would be great. And we will answer it as quickly as we can.
That's great. That's great. That's great. As we're starting to wrap up here,
Sure.
Scott, Ben, feel free to, if you have any final questions or anything you want to share, what pops into your brains?
I'll just say thank you for being here. I'm super excited that we got to have the conversation. It's great to meet you virtually. I'm a little jealous that Jason's going to get to meet you in person, but that just gives
Scott,
me
you
a
can go.
goal
You
to,
can
I
go.
know I've got
Hey,
to.
hey, you can come with me.
If I didn't have a direct conflict on those days, I would be there.
Okay.
But it will be on my list. I've got to get to the British Ring Convention
That would
in the very near future. But yes,
fabulous.
thank you so much thank you so much for the conversation. But thank you so much for your contribution to the art
Yep.
and to the IBM and specifically
Thank
to the
you.
British Ring. It's just delightful to speak with you and. Best wishes on everything
Thank you.
best for the British Ring
Thank you.
and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it was lovely to meet you. I also am jealous.
Likewise.
As usual, Scott does a better job with the wrap up than I do, but I also am jealous that I don't get to go to the convention.
Well, tell
Even
you
just,
what, very quickly, if I can,
yeah,
just as we're wrapping up, because obviously I know your convention is in Las Vegas next year.
yeah.
The plan is that next year's British Ring president, hopefully, now there's lots of situations that it could be a challenge, but they are hopefully going to be coming over.
Oh,
That
that
would
would
be
be
great.
If that
fantastic.
is the case, then I will be doing my best to come as well.
Oh, well, what do we have to
Because,
do to get, we got
well,
to get both of you here. Come
well,
on.
you know why? Because something very unusual will be happening on the 20th of September, something that will be very unique, because I'm handing the presidency over to my daughter.
Oh, that's so cool. That's amazing.
That
Oh,
is
okay. Well, we
fantastic.
have to figure out how to make
Wow.
this happen because that would be too cool. And yes, and so not only am I going to get to meet you here in like very shortly at your convention, so we have to figure out, we have to
Yeah,
scheme and figure it out how to get you to Las Vegas and your whole family. That would be a blast.
Well,
that would be
that's
fantastic.
going to be the plan because
Okay.
Mandy would really like to come over. So
That
fingers crossed.
Okay, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I like it. All right. Any final thoughts, anybody, or should we wrap this thing up? All right.
I've
Well, thank
loved
you.
it. It's been great meeting you all. One day I will meet you all in person. Obviously, I'll meet
Yep,
you very soon, Jason, but I really will. I'm looking forward to meeting you all.
back at you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Likewise.
Hey, friends, if you are interested in learning more about the International Brotherhood of Magicians, you can do so by visiting magician.org. That is magician, not musician, magician, Magician, magician.org.org. So, anyway, check that out, learn more about our organization. And if you love magic, we would love for you to get involved. For Scott Cantrell, Ben Young, Moira Fletcher, my name is Jason Michaels. Thank you so much for joining us on today's podcast. We'll see you again soon. Take care.